Well. Good afternoon, West Ham fans. Rush from the West Ham Network. Hope you are safe and well. If you're new around here, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to do what you do and subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Now, obviously, it's match day. We played Chelsea in a few short hours against London Stadium. I'll be doing the match day late lunch outside the live show. But I thought we'd do a little Hammers headlines in between because we've got a lot of other content coming out. We've got obviously starting 11 show. We've had the stat attack. We've had the Oppo chat with Alex from Chelsea Fan TV. We'll have the review show. There won't be a lot watch along tonight. Anton's on holiday. He's on the Ollie Bob. So obviously there's plenty of other guys you can watch longs. You've got Jay, you've got Hammers Chat, you've got West Ham Fan TV, you've got JP, you've got Nick from Clout and Booze might do a watch along as well. Plenty to watch. So do show them some love and support. And of course, anything you watch with them, comment and like on that as well, because it's it helps them in terms of channel engagement as well. But I thought there's, despite the fact we're playing Chelsea tonight, there's still a lot of transfer news happening. And in day yesterday, for example, we were linked with about a dozen midfielders. We spoke about half a dozen of them already last night, but there were several other players we were linked with, which we didn't talk about, like the Lille, what's his name, Mamuka from Lille, and several others. But what was interesting was an article or a post from journalist Sasha Tovaleri, who said exclusively that West Ham are back in for Rafael Onyedika. Hot on our lips is Onyedika. And I mean, he was someone that at the beginning of the transfer window, he was identified apparently as Macaulay's number one target. And, we were led to believe that we'd even agreed personal terms with the Club Brugge Nigerian international midfielder, 24. Definitely the type of profile of player we're looking at, we need in that number 8 role. And was seen as a real, not necessarily a find, but someone we could, not necessarily from the top 6 clubs, and then someone who's ready for the step up. Now, it went completely quiet, but maybe with the imminent departure of Edson Alvarez to Fenerbahce, maybe that has kick-started the process again. I don't know. But as I said, according to Sasha, West Ham are back in for him. And, if we do get him, and if we're right in assuming that he is one of Potter's / Macaulay's top targets, they've got their top goalkeeper target, they've got their top left back target or left wing back target, and then they'll have their one of their top midfielder targets. So it is trying to mold the squad into what he wants, or what they want, really. I think what will be really interesting what happens in the next few days. I think it was Hammers News reached out to Sasha and asked about the likelihood of him coming to West Ham. He's apparently open to the move. He wants to be playing in the Premier League this summer, and he said, "Yeah, I think so." And you got to look, the likes of obviously other teams who'd probably be in for him, Nottingham Forest, but they've just secured the loan signing of Douglas Luiz, amongst others, amongst James Mack. It's pretty much West Ham linked players FC. And we'll see what happens with Rafael. I think, obviously, we're entering next week the final week of the transfer window, final full week of the transfer window. So we've got to fucking do something, in all honesty. And then today, this morning, an interesting and slightly bizarre link. It's reported on several outlets coming out of Spain that West Ham are apparently very close to the signing of Hector Fort, who's a 19-year-old defender from Barcelona. He apparently has not trained today because of this impending move. As I said, he's 19. He's highly regarded as one of the top top players to be breaking through into the Barcelona side in the next few years. And according to reports, West Ham have kept a very close eye on him. Now, it will be a loan deal as part of Hector's sort of agreement to the move. He has insisted that it is a loan deal, a complete dry loan, rather than any sort of moistness to the loan in terms of option or obligation to buy, because he wants to come back to Barcelona. So he literally is going just to get first team football. It's not necessarily a strange one. It could. I mean, because he tends to operate more on. I think he's a left wing back. Really, let me just check. I'm pretty sure, because I was looking at that thinking, why would we go in for him? I mean, he's a fullback. I mean, he can cover left back and right back, primarily a right back, really. But he's on transfer market. He's got the 2 dots. He's got one at right back, one at left back. You've got to think at the left back options with Ollie Scarles. Are probably next in line after Diouf, then Emerson. You assume Emerson will be going. I mean, Marseille are looking at him potentially as a transfer target. They're looking at Tsimikas as well from Liverpool. On the right-hand side, you've got Wan-Bissaka and you got Kyle Walker-Peters. Granted, there will be a period in December to January where, and we know that Wan-Bissaka is likely to go to the AFCONs because he was pictured in the Congo passport office getting his passport. So that would assume he'll probably be going out in September with the team in preparation. They've got some international friendlies to be called up for that. So, with the assumption, and as I said on Sky Live on Sky Sports, that you've got Diouf, you've got Wan-Bissaka, you've got Aguerd, potentially Onyedika if we signed him. Those 4 will be going to the AFCONs. It may leave us a little bit light on the fullback side, particularly if there's an injury to Kyle Walker-Peters. So this could be a plan B, C, D, E. I don't know. There could be, if it happens, it might be to cover. And the fact that Kyle Walker-Peters can cover both sides, he can cover both sides. Ollie Scarles can cover the left side. There was suggestion that QPR were interested in taking Ollie on a season-long loan. Would that happen? I don't think it will, but you never know. I don't agree. I don't think it will happen. I think it's been clear that he's part of the first team squad, but hasn't got any minutes as such at the beginning of this. So I don't know, but it's a strange one to happen left field. Now we know traditionally, we've been linked with 220 odd players, but it did seem quite adamant on the reports being said. And then another late move is, according to reports, potentially on the cards, and that is Raheem Sterling. Now, according to reports, it has been suggested that Sterling's Sterling's team have been in contact with West Ham, who apparently, don't shoot the messenger, has viewed him as a potential late signing. Potter is believed to be a fan of Sterling, having worked together with both of them at Stamford Bridge during his time with Chelsea, and could be the key to his arrival. Now, Sterling wants to stay in the Premier League, and he is all but certain to be leaving Stamford Bridge, and ideally wants to stay in London. So realistically, it's probably going to be us or Fulham will be the 2 teams who would potentially be interested. Am I interested in him? To be honest, I don't necessarily. I think 3, 4, 5 years ago, oh my God, yes, but he's the ship has sailed. He's on a hell of a lot of wages. Unless Chelsea are going to pay all the wages and we get him on a freebie, I just don't think. We've led to be believed. Potter said yesterday that George Urthy's back in training. It's only a matter of time before he comes back. You've got Somerville. There was maybe rumours of potentially a slight knocks happened in training, a reoccurrence of the injury. I don't know if that's true or not. I've just heard the rumour, so don't read too much into that. That this could be as cover for that, maybe. I don't know, but yeah, we'll wait and see. I'm sure some more news will come out. Obviously, Luis Guilherme's out for a period of time with a dislocated shoulder or something like that. Yep, something like that. He did in training. So we are little light when it comes to that sort of forward, impact forward, quick. I mean, he's still quick, Sterling, but I just think we could probably utilize that budget allocation elsewhere in terms of wages and things. But don't be surprised if you see him in a West Ham shirt towards the end of the transfer window. Anyway, don't forget to check out News at Mama Brown, also.com for latest news, reviews, and opinions. I'll be back in a couple of hours doing the live show outside the London Stadium ahead of the game against Chelsea. And then we'll have the starting 11 show, as I said. Then we'll have the review show after the game. Hopefully a positive review show. If you go into the game, you see walking about the camera, come over and say hello. Come on, camera, have a couple of words. Let us know what you think. And don't forget to check out News at Mama Brown, as I said. Much love. Peace out, mofos.